Missouri's waterways are governed by rules designed to keep everyone safe. In Missouri, who must have a boating safety ID card to operate a motorized vessel? Anyone born after January 1, 1984. If you meet this age criteria, you must carry your boating safety education card on board whenever you are operating a motorized vessel. Next question. What is the minimum age to operate a PWC, jet ski, without adult supervision? 14 years old. Operators under 14 must be under the direct, on-board supervision of someone at least 16 years of age. Let's move on. Children under what age must wear a USCG-approved life jacket at all times on a boat? Under 7 years of age. Unless they are in a totally enclosed cabin area, young children must have their PFD fastened at all times while the vessel is underway. Next point. What is the legal BAC limit for boating under the influence, buoy, in Missouri? 0.08%. The same legal limit for driving a car applies to the water. As of 2026, Missouri has heightened penalties for buoy if a minor under 17 is on board. Let's keep going. What is slow no-wake speed, defined as in Missouri? Slowest speed to maintain steerage and no white water wake. This is roughly 5 miles per hour or less, depending on the vessel. Next question. How far must you stay away from a diver down flag? 50 feet. You must also stay 50 feet away from other boats and people in the water when traveling at speeds greater than slow no wake. Let's move on. When must a person wear a life jacket on a personal watercraft, PWC? At all times while underway. Because of the high risk of falling off a PWC, wearing a PFD is a mandatory legal requirement for all riders. Next point. In Missouri, when is it legal to operate a PWC, jet ski? Between sunrise and sunset. Operating a PWC at night is generally illegal in Missouri unless the craft is equipped with factory-installed or approved navigation lights, which most are not. Let's keep going. What must you do if you are involved in a boating accident in Missouri? Stop and assist, then report if damage exceeds $500. You must also report the accident if a person dies, disappears, or requires medical treatment beyond first aid. Next question. Where is the best place to store a fire extinguisher on a boat? In an accessible area away from the engine. If a fire starts in the engine, you don't want to have to reach over the flames to get your extinguisher. Let's move on. What does a white buoy with an orange circle indicate? A controlled area, like no wake. These buoys give you specific instructions on how to operate in that zone. Next point. What does a white buoy with an orange diamond with a cross inside mean? Boats keep out. This marks areas that are strictly off limits to vessels for safety or environmental reasons. Let's keep going. When two boats are meeting head-on, what is the proper action? Both boats turn to starboard, right. This is the rules of the road standard to ensure a safe pass. Next question. What is the purpose of the red, right, returning rule? Keep red buoys on your right when returning from sea. In Missouri's inland waters, this means keeping red markers on your right when heading upstream or away from the main body of water. Let's move on. What is the give way vessel required to do? Take early and substantial action to stay clear. Don't wait until the last second. Make it obvious to the other driver that you are moving out of the way. Next point. In Missouri, what is careless and imprudent operation? Operating at a speed that endangers life or property. This includes jumping wakes too close to another vessel or weaving through congested traffic. Let's keep going. How many people are required on a boat when towing a skier? 2. The driver and a competent observer. In Missouri, the observer must be at least 12 years old, or the vessel must be equipped with an approved wide-angle ski mirror. Next question. What color is a lateral marker buoy that marks the left side of a channel? Green. Keep these on your left, port, side when you are returning or heading upstream. Let's move on. When is a person required to have their navigation lights on? From sunset to sunrise or in restricted visibility. Proper lighting ensures other boaters can see your position and direction of travel. Next point. What does a no-wake zone mean? You must travel at a speed that creates no wake. This protects docks, swimmers, and smaller vessels from hazardous waves. Let's keep going. On the Lake of the Ozarks, what is the nighttime speed limit? 30 miles per hour. This limit is strictly enforced beginning 1/2 hour after sunset and ending 1 hour before sunrise. Next question. What is the danger signal on a boat's horn? 5 or more short blasts. Use this if you are unsure of another boater's intentions or if you think a collision is imminent. Let's move on. Where should you discharge a fire extinguisher during a fire? At the base of the flames. Use a sweeping motion to cut off the fire source. Next point. What is carbon monoxide poisoning on a boat? An odorless, toxic gas from engine exhaust. It can accumulate in the back of the boat or inside cabins. Ensure proper ventilation at all times. Let's keep going. When should you check the oil and fuel levels on your boat? Before every outing. Running out of fuel or oil on the water is a preventable emergency. Next question. What is the primary purpose of a kill switch lanyard? To shut off the engine if the driver falls overboard. As of recent federal and state mandates, use of these is required on many motorized vessels to prevent runaway boats. Let's move on. How should you approach a dock when the wind is blowing toward it? Approach slowly, parallel to the dock. Let the wind do the work of pushing you toward the pier while you maintain control. Next point. What is the stand-on vessel's responsibility? Maintain its course and speed. If you have the right of way, stay predictable so the giveaway vessel can maneuver around you. Let's keep going. What must every vessel, including canoes, have on board? A USCG-approved life jacket for each person. Even if you aren't required to wear it, the jacket must be readily accessible and in good condition. Next question. What is the capacity plate's purpose? To show the maximum weight and number of people. Overloading a boat is a major cause of swamping and capsizing. Let's move on. Why should you never anchor from the stern, back, of the boat? It can cause the boat to swamp or capsize. Boats are designed to take waves at the bow. Anchoring from the stern pulls the lowest part of the boat into the water. Next point. What should you do if your boat capsizes? Stay with the boat and climb on top if possible. A capsized boat is much easier for rescuers to find than a lone person in the water. Let's keep going. What is hypothermia? A dangerous drop in body temperature. Even in Missouri's summer heat, spring-fed rivers or deep lakes can be cold enough to cause shock. Next question. In Missouri, what is the illegal act of teak surfing? Holding onto the swim platform while the boat is moving. This puts the person dangerously close to propeller blades and concentrated carbon monoxide. Let's move on. When can a PWC, jet ski, legally tow a skier in Missouri? If it is rated for at least 3 people. You must have room for the driver, the observer, and the skier if they fall. Next point. What is the muffler requirement in Missouri? All boats must have an effective muffling system. Excessive noise is a violation and is often the reason for noise-related citations on busy lakes. Let's keep going. What should you do before fueling your boat at a marina? Turn off the engine and close all windows, doors. This prevents fuel vapors from entering the bilge or cabin, where they could explode. Next question. How do you know when you are clear of a no-wake zone? When you pass the resume normal operation buoy. Wait until you are fully past the marker before increasing your throttle. Let's move on. What is the significance of a diver down flag, red with white stripe? Divers are in the water. Stay clear. If you must pass, do so at slow no-wake speed and keep a sharp lookout for bubbles or heads. Next point. What should you do if a passenger falls overboard? Toss them a PFD and circle back slowly. Approach them from the downwind side so the boat doesn't drift over them. Let's keep going. Why is it dangerous to ride on the bow, front, or gunnels? You could fall overboard and be struck by the prop. Bow riding is illegal in Missouri while the vessel is at anything above slow no-wake speed. Next question. What does a short blast on a horn mean? 1 second. I intend to pass you on my left side. Sound signaling is a vital part of communicating with other vessels in tight channels. Let's move on. What should you do to avoid spreading invasive species, like zebra mussels? Drain, clean, and dry your boat after leaving the water. Protecting Missouri's native ecosystems is every boater's responsibility. Next point. When is it legal to dump trash into Missouri waters? Never. Keep a trash bag on board and dispose of all waste properly back at the marina. Let's keep going. What is the main cause of boating accidents? Operator inattention or error. Staying alert and sober is the best way to ensure you make it back to the dock. Next question. What is a Type 4 PFD? A throwable device, like a ring buoy or cushion. Vessels 16 feet or longer, except canoes and kayaks, must have at least one throwable device on board. Let's move on. How often should you check the battery on your boat? Before every trip. A dead battery in the middle of a lake can leave you stranded after dark without navigation lights. Next point. What does a white buoy with an orange square indicate? Information or directions. These give you helpful info like distances to marinas or names of specific coves. Let's keep going. What should you do if you see a storm approaching while on the water? Head for the nearest shore immediately. Weather on lakes can change in minutes. Don't try to outrun a storm. Next question. What is the most important thing to remember in any boating emergency? Don't panic and ensure everyone has a life jacket on. Calm leadership saves lives when things go wrong on the water.